The coolest waterfalls in the US. What if I told you that some of the most incredible, jaw-dropping waterfalls in the world are right here in the US? Forget booking an international trip. These waterfalls will blow your mind, and they're just a road trip away. Waterfalls are nature's way of showing off. Whether it's a trickle down a cliffside or a massive cascade roaring into a pool, there's something mesmerizing about them. In this video, we're going to take you on a journey through some of the coolest waterfalls in the US. These spots are perfect for your next adventure, so stick around to see which ones you need to add to your bucket list. Here's the challenge. With so many waterfalls across the country, how do you decide which ones are worth your time? From towering cascades to hidden gems tucked away in the wilderness, it can be overwhelming to pick just one. But don't worry, we're going to break down the best of the best. These waterfalls aren't just beautiful, they're accessible, unique, and some even have a little mystery behind them. Let's kick things off with one of the most iconic spots on the West Coast, McWay Falls in California. This little slice of paradise is located right off the famous Route 1 in Big Sur, and it's unlike any waterfall you've ever seen. McWay Falls doesn't just tumble off a cliff, it drops straight onto a pristine beach. The turquoise water, golden sand, and surrounding pine trees create a picture-perfect scene. You can't hike down to the beach, but the viewpoint along the Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park is enough to leave you in awe. And if you're doing a coastal road trip, this is an absolute must-stop. Next up, we're heading to the Palouse Falls in Washington. This hidden gem is tucked away in the Palouse region, known for its rolling hills and vast landscapes. Palouse Falls looks like something straight out of a movie. It plunges over 180 feet into a massive whirlpool before connecting with the Snake River. It's remote, rugged, and stunning, making it the perfect destination for those looking to escape the crowds. Whether you're capturing the falls from Freixel Overlook or one of the other platforms, every angle offers a breathtaking view. Trust me, this one's worth the detour. Now, we can't talk about US waterfalls without mentioning Havasu Falls in Arizona. Picture this. Vibrant turquoise water crashing against deep red cliffs. It looks like a scene from a dream. But to get there, it's no easy task. Located on the Havasu Reservation, reaching Havasu Falls requires a 10-mile hike, and permits need to be booked way in advance. But don't let that scare you away. The journey is totally worth it, and once you see that blue-green water against the desert backdrop, you'll know why this spot is on so many bucket lists. Heading up north, we have Multnomah Falls in Oregon. If you're ever in the Pacific Northwest, this 620-foot waterfall in the Columbia River Gorge is a must-see. Multnomah Falls is active year-round, but it's especially magical in the spring when wildflowers bloom along the hiking trails. Pro tip: get there early. This is one of Oregon's most popular attractions, and with over 2 million visitors a year, it can get pretty crowded. But once you see the waterfall in all its glory, you'll know why it draws people from all over the world. Now, let's talk about Hawaii. Akaka Falls on the Big Island is one of the easiest to access waterfalls on our list, but don't let that fool you, it's absolutely stunning. Dropping 442 feet, Akaka Falls is the island's tallest waterfall that you can actually hike to. The trail leading to the falls is a short 0.8-mile loop through lush jungle, and if you keep going, you'll even spot the lesser-known Kahuna Falls along the way. The entire hike is an experience in itself, with the surrounding tropical landscape making every step worth it. Heading to the Midwest, we've got the Tahquamenon Falls in Michigan. These aren't just one, but two sets of waterfalls. The Upper Falls is a massive 200-foot wide waterfall, while 4 miles downstream, you'll find the Lower Falls, which consist of 5 smaller cascades. The brownish hue of the water, caused by tannins from the surrounding trees, gives these falls a unique look. The falls are nestled within the mostly undeveloped Tahquamenon Falls State Park, where you can spot everything from black bears to beavers as you hike along the river. It's a peaceful escape into nature, and the roar of the falls makes it unforgettable. But we're not done yet. We've still got a few more amazing spots to hit, like the iconic Bridal Veil Falls in Yosemite National Park. This 620-foot waterfall is one of the first things you see when you enter Yosemite Valley, and its resemblance to a bride's veil gives it that fairy tale-like charm. Whether you're visiting in spring, when the water flow is at its peak, or in winter when the waterfall freezes along the edges, Bridal Veil Falls never disappoints. And then there's Ruby Falls in Tennessee, a completely different kind of waterfall experience. Why? Because this one is underground. Ruby Falls is the tallest underground waterfall in the U.S., located inside Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga. To reach it, you'll take a glass elevator deep into the caverns, where you'll witness a 260-foot waterfall cascading inside the cave. The mix of stalactites, stalagmites, and the eerie lighting creates a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Of course, no waterfall list would be complete without Niagara Falls in New York. This is probably the most famous waterfall in the U.S., if not the world. Niagara is actually made up of 3 waterfalls, with water from 4 of the Great Lakes thundering over the edge. Every minute, 3,160 tons of water crashes down, creating a spectacle like no other. With over 20 million visitors each year, it's one of the most popular tourist destinations in the country. But seeing it in person, whether from the American side or the Canadian side, is an experience you won't forget. Lastly, we have a hidden gem in Utah, Calf Creek Falls. This 126-foot waterfall is located within the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument and is a refreshing sight after a 6.7-mile hike through the desert. The water is so clear that you can see right down to the bottom of the pool, and it's a perfect spot for a mid-hike swim. Just be prepared. It can get pretty busy, so arriving early is key. There you have it, some of the coolest waterfalls in the U.S., each offering a different experience, from towering cliffs to hidden desert oases and even underground marvels. Whether you're planning a cross-country road trip or just looking for the next adventure, these waterfalls are must-see destinations. So, what's the next waterfall on your list? Subscribe for more epic travel adventures.